So after all the silliness, you need 2 planks, about that size, doesn't really matter. These things, these are, you can buy them off Amazon, and then you need little short screws that generally come with these joiners, okay, little Phillips heads. And what I'm intending to do, I'm drilling some feeder holes into these first. So I'm making tiny little holes with my drill. Makes it much easier to screw into this, because this is, I think, chipboard, and it's bloody hard to screw into. So I've done 2 on this side, and then I'm going to show you how I put a 3rd one in the middle here on the other side, just for extra reinforcement, and I'll show you how I do it. So now what I'm doing, I've put this on here, and I'm just marking where I want to make my feeder holes. So there and there. And then I'm going to get my drill. You can see there now, I can see where I need to drill, and I'm going to drill some holes. Got a pretty thin drill bit. I can't tell you what size it is because I haven't unpacked my reading glasses yet, and I don't know where they are, and I can't see. So this is what we're going to do. Just make sure you're not going to go through anything into any wires or anything underneath the floor. Blow the dust off. Pop this in place. I'm going to put that one in that little feeder hole. So this is really nice and sturdy now, it's not wobbling at all. And what I'm going to do now is attach some webbing to the underside of this, and but first of all I need to measure the distance from here to the rafters, and obviously here to the rafters, because it's going to be a slightly different measurement. And then I'm just literally going to use my staple gun to staple them on. That's a shelf back there that I suspended a little while ago. See that attaching up there. So with this one, what I'm doing is I've found a couple of plant pots that are about the height that I want the shelf suspended, because then it just gives me easy access underneath here if I need to get to the electricals, etc. Place that on there, which gives me about the right sort of position, the right sort of height. I'll move these forward a bit, just to give it a bit more stability. You just have to play around with it a bit. So that's in about the right position that I want it to be. So now I'm just going to get my webbing, and I'm literally, I mean, it's a real guessing game. So hopefully you can see this okay. I'm going to get my webbing, the end of it, and I'm going to suspend it onto the rafter where it needs to be, just about. It needs to be about there to keep it level, to keep it straight. And then I'm going to allow a bit extra under here, hold it with my thumb, and then I'm just going to make a mark with the pen. There. And then for the back, I'm going to use, I'll obviously make 2 lots of this length, and then for the back, I'm going to, again, just guess, hold my finger where that piece is, and then, where are we? Bit of extra. I'm going to mark that with a pen, and then I'm going to cut that times 2, and then we'll go and suspend it. I held this up against the rafters just so that I could get a good idea of where the outside of the rafter is, so that is going to be to come loop underneath this. This is the underside of this plank now, and so what I'm going to do, I need to make sure I've got bit of an overlap, because I'm going to use that on I'm going to staple this on now with my trusty staple gun, but I'm going to have to put the phone down because I need a 3rd pair of hands. So I'm going to staple this on, and then I'll show you the next step. So I've stapled them all in. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then obviously the shorter bits go at the back of the rafters there, and the longer bits will go to this end of the rafters. So I'm just going to balance the platform, the shelf, on those 2 pots, and get stapling onto the rafters. So these are all attached to the rafters, and now I'm just going to take there's loads of staples in there. And then I'm just going to take these plant pots out from underneath. Ugh. 1 and 2. And we have a suspended shelf. Do I use a spirit level? Nah, not really. It's all by sight. It's pretty suspended. If I was putting the crown jewels on it, I would probably use a spirit level, but I'm not. So I hope that was helpful. It's a really easy way of making suspended shelving and making the most of your space in your rafters. I've put 3 floating shelves up today, and they make great space saving for your eaves. I've got another one right down at the far end, and I'm just going to continue my way around. So I've got loads of spare planks of wood, so I'm just going to keep joining them together and making suspended shelves.